Hi everyone, welcome back to AdmitX and a new episode on our series University Focus, where I, your host, will review each university one at a time. My name is Prabhat and I'm the founder and head coach at AdmitX. Since one of you actually commented on our last video and wanted us to cover this university, today I'm going to talk about University of Bristol, which is a proud member of the Russell Group and one of the globally recognized universities in the world. आज की वीडियो में हम सब कुछ कवर करेंगे, including tuition fees, courses, rankings, entry requirements, scholarship, campus life, accommodation, and everything else that you can think of. So make sure that you stick till the end. So University of Bristol was actually founded in 1876, which makes it one of the oldest and most prestigious universities in the UK. It is also a member of Russell Group, which is a group of 24 different universities in the UK, which are known for their academic excellence and research intensity. Worldwide, Bristol की rankings and prestige में कोई doubt नहीं है, and in fact it is most well known for its programs in engineering, computer science, law, medicine and social sciences. Now, university की location, I'm sure आपने already guess कर ली होगी, which is in Bristol, is a major city in the UK. So you will get a vibrant student life. And still, your living expenses will be relatively controlled because you're not living in one of the big cities like London or Manchester. Now talking about rankings, and I know आप लोगों के लिए ये चीज़ बहुत ज़्यादा important है. So I will talk about the two major rankings, which is QS and Times Higher Education, which is followed by millions of students every year. So in 2026, QS ranked it at number 51 in the world, and Times Higher Education ranked it at 78 worldwide in 2025. इस सीरीज के जो रेगुलर व्यूअर्स हैं वो जानते होंगे कि अब इस सेक्शन के बाद मैं नेचुरली पॉपुलर कोर्सेज की बात करूंगा, बट आई थिंक यहाँ पर ब्रिस्टल के लिए अगर मैं 3 या 4 कोर्सेज को पॉपुलर कोर्सेज बोलूँ या उनको हाईलाइट करूँ तो वो यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए अनफेयर है, बिकॉज टू बी ऑनेस्ट नो मैटर विच सब्जेक्ट यू स्टडी एट ब्रिस्टल यू विल गारंटीड बी स्टडिंग एट वन ऑफ द टॉप 10 यूनिवर्सिटीज़ इन यूके. इतना कि इनफैक्ट 27 डिफरेंट सब्जेक्ट्स के लिए ब्रिस्टल रैंक्स अमंग द टॉप 10 इन द यूके. तो you have a guarantee that आप कोई भी इनमें से सब्जेक्ट पिक कर लो and you are secured for life. Obviously, many of you now want to study at University of Bristol, and I know for a fact that it is not easy to study abroad, and in fact, it can actually need a lot of investment from your side. So just to give you an idea, the tuition fees for a bachelor's course at Bristol can be between £24,000 to £30,000 per year. And for a postgraduate program, it can actually be between £28,000 to £36,000. अब इससे पहले कि आप लोग कीबोर्ड में एंड कमेंट्स में लिखना शुरू कर दो कि यार ये तो बहुत एक्सपेंसिव यूनिवर्सिटी है, प्लीज़ वेट फॉर 2 minutes because I will tell you about the scholarships and in fact the most generous scholarship that is awarded by a UK university. For both bachelor's and master's program, the key scholarship is known as Think Big scholarship. For UG programs, you can get up to £13,000 waived off per year. मतलब अगर आप 4 ईयर कोर्स पढ़ रहे हो तो यू कैन ईजिली सेव अप टू £52,000. एंड अगर आप एक मास्टर्स डिग्री पढ़ रहे हो यू कैन गेट 3 अवार्ड्स बिटवीन 6,500, 13,000 एंड £26,000. एंड बस इतना ही नहीं, इनफैक्ट देयर आर मेनी मोर स्कॉलरशिप दैट ब्रिस्टल ऑफर्स. इनफैक्ट आई विल टेल यू अबाउट 5 स्पेसिफिक स्कॉलरशिप्स फॉर बैचलर्स एज वेल एज मास्टर्स प्रोग्राम्स विच यू कैन अप्लाई फॉर. एंड आपको सारे नेम्स अभी स्क्रीन पे दिख रहे होंगे, तो अगर आपको सेव करना है तो स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो. इनफैक्ट इतनी सारी स्कॉलरशिप्स हैं कि अगर हम चाहें तो वी कैन मेक अ डेडिकेटेड वीडियो अबाउट स्कॉलरशिप्स एट यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ ब्रिस्टल, एंड आई नो दैट ईजिली वो वीडियो 10 मिनट से भी लंबी होगी. तो इफ़ यू वांट मी टू मेक दैट वीडियो फॉर यू, जस्ट कॉमेंट स्कॉलरशिप इन द कॉमेंट सेक्शन एंड आई एम श्योर दैट नेक्स्ट वीडियो उसी पर होगी. बट जब आपको यूनिवर्सिटी इतना कुछ दे रही है, विच इज़ सच अ हाई रैंकिंग डिग्री एज वेल एज अ लॉट ऑफ जनरल स्कॉलरशिप्स, you can be sure that it is not easy to get in. In fact, let's talk about the entry requirements. So if you want to study for a bachelor's course, your applications will be made through UCAS, which is a centralized application system to study at any university in the UK. And you will need minimum 80 to 90% grades in your class 12th. And अगर आप master's degree के लिए जा रहे हो, so the entry requirements are slightly easier because वहाँ पर ज़्यादा profile based admissions होते हैं. So you will need at least 60% or 6 CGPA in your bachelor's degree, plus a very strong profile, which should include a lot of extracurriculars, a lot of academics, a lot of awards, achievements, and so on and so forth. And like all universities abroad, you will also have to prove your proficiency in English through an English language test. So usually तो बच्चे IELTS या TOEFL दे देते हैं, but in fact you can get a waiver for this test from the University of Bristol. तो लेने का तरीका बहुत सिंपल है. आपको क्लास 12th के मार्क्स में इंग्लिश में स्पेसिफिकली यू शुड स्कोर मिनिमम 70 to 80% एंड वो रिसेंटली लास्ट 5 years के अंदर होना चाहिए। अगर वो उससे ज़्यादा पुराना है या आपके मार्क्स उससे थोड़े से कम है तो यू विल नीड एटलीस्ट 7.5 इन IELTS विथ नो बैंड लेस देन 7 एंड उसके इक्विवेलेंट स्कोर्स फॉर अदर एग्जाम्स लाइक डुओलिंगो, PT एक्सेट्रा वो आपको स्क्रीन पे इजीली दिख सकते हैं। नाउ ऑब्वियसली आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट स्टडिंग अब्रॉड इज नॉट जस्ट अबाउट स्टडिंग एट अ टॉप यूनिवर्सिटी लाइक ब्रिस्टल बट ऑल्सो एंजॉइंग योर स्टूडेंट लाइफ अ लिटिल बिट। तो उसके लिए आपको थोड़ा बहुत लिविंग एक्सपेंसेस का भी आइडिया होना चाहिए। एंड टू एक्चुअली स्टडी एंड लिव इन द सिटी ऑफ ब्रिस्टल you should budget approximately 1,000 to 1,300 pounds per month. So for an average student, this can be broken down into 4 different buckets. So for rent and utility bills, you might end up paying between 600 to 800 pounds every month. Then the second biggest expense is your groceries and food, which can cost you between 150 to 200 pounds per month. Then third biggest is obviously study related cost, personal expenses and transport, जिसको हम लोग सब combine करके we can again estimate at 150 to 200 pounds per month. And you should also keep always a buffer of 100 pounds for your hobbies, leisure and for going out. जो मैंने आपको accommodation के expenses बताया which was 600 to 800 pounds, this is only an average. This is not actually the real amount that you might end up paying because the real amount depends on several factors like the kind of room you choose, whether it is a university managed accommodation या फिर private rental and ultimately what kind of facilities it has. So for a university managed accommodation, the average rent is between 450 to 650 pounds per month. And अगर आप private rental जाते हो तो it can go as high as 1100 pounds or even 1200 pounds per month. Now this was all about living at your accommodation. But actually what about the student life? And वो कैसी है? So I can tell you that University of Bristol is actually a city-based campus. मतलब उसकी अपनी कोई बाउंड्री नहीं है। इनफैक्ट ऑल ऑफ इट्स बिल्डिंग्स, लाइब्रेरीज एंड स्टूडेंट फैसिलिटीज आर स्प्रेड आउट अक्रॉस द सिटी। मतलब आपको ऐसा फील होगा कि दैट पूरा सिटी ही आपका कैंपस है एंड इट इज सो वाइब्रेंट दैट द यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ ब्रिस्टल एक्चुअली हैज मोर देन 350 स्टूडेंट क्लब्स। 350, दैट्स राइट। इतने तो स्टूडेंट्स भी नहीं होते एक्चुअली कुछ कॉलेजेस में। एंड इतने स्टूडेंट क्लब्स का मतलब है दैट नो मैटर वॉट योर इंटरेस्ट इज you will find a student club for it. So let me give examples. There is a chess club, there is a sports club, debating club, music society, dance society and many more. And even after so many student clubs, the most important one that I think you should definitely keep updated with is the student union, because that is managed by the university and it organizes the maximum number of festivals, workshops, volunteering opportunities and even parties. And in fact, Bristol as a city is one of the UK's most student friendly cities and it is home to more than 25% international students. So no matter which country you come from, you will definitely find your own community there. And in fact, Bristol is actually home to a very vibrant arts and music scene, a lot of cafes, parks and many hangout spots so that you can actually enjoy your student life outside of the classroom. So that brings me almost to the end of the video, but not quite the end, because obviously, as always, I will wrap up this video with a quick list of pros and cons. So let's start with the pros. So University of Bristol is actually a proud member of the Russell Group, which sort of guarantees that you are getting a high quality education. University of Bristol offers a lot of wide programs like computer science, medicine, law, social sciences, and many more. And in fact, it is globally recognized for its academic brilliance and research output. Bristol is also a very student-friendly city, and to top all of it off, the University of Bristol offers very generous scholarships, as I've already told you. But obviously, no university is perfect, and no city is perfect. So there are 3 cons that I can think of studying at University of Bristol. First, admissions are extremely competitive. मतलब अगर आपके minimum criteria से 1% या even 2% भी marks कम है, that can be directly lead to a rejection. Second is the typical UK weather, which is often quite rainy and can be a little bit cold. तो अगर आपको वो पसंद नहीं है, maybe look for slightly warmer options. And third is the tuition fees, which can be slightly high as compared to other Russell Group universities also, because Bristol is priced somewhere close to top universities like LSE, Oxford and Cambridge. So that's it for today's video. I hope you liked my review of University of Bristol. But to be honest, my final verdict is अगर आपको एडमिशन मिल जाए and if you are comfortable with the finances, go ahead because it is by far one of the best universities to study at. And if you liked this video, make sure that you subscribe to our channel and don't miss our future videos because we have a lot of exciting stuff coming up. And if you want me to cover one specific university, write the name in the comments and I will make sure that the next video is on that university only. Till then, I will see you.